All right, good morning. Today we're looking at a high-speed interceptor that I've been playing around with. Basically, this is just a merging of my Wombat refit and my Krait interceptor. So it's basically, like I said, it's got the body of my old Krait ship, and then the engines and the tail end of the Wombat. So I don't know, I'm happy with the way it came out, and we'll take it out for a spin. I'll take it apart, put it together, and we'll go from there. So it's got a pretty narrow profile other than these outboard engines that stick out on either side. I think these are the DT60s. This is a Class B ship, but I'm using Class A engines just because I wanted to keep a little bit of a higher speed. So these DT60 engines they're pretty interesting because for Class A they're only 2 power, so you can have 6 of them total. So I mounted 4 on the rear and the 2 outboard motors. And I got the most powerful B class reactor that gives me 39 power. This is A class reactor that gives me a 28 light year jump range, which is the most you need for anything in the game. There's no point in having anything over 28. I think you're just wasting mass at that point. It's got 3 internal habs. Excuse me. I got the comm spike and the conduction grid mounted on either sides. This is the first time I think I've ever used this particular docker, or excuse me, landing bay. And I didn't even realize until I was halfway through it that this thing has 2 hard points for weapons on the bottom, which was nice. So this is one of those I was talking about in my last video. If you have one of these 2 square length landing bays, they're always going to have a ladder that goes up. If it's just one, takes up one by one space, it'll have a door in the back that goes to a hab. So the hab's above it on this one, and then if it was the smaller version, it would have to have the door right here, and then you would just go through to the hab. So, but like I said, this is the first time I think I've played around with this particular landing bay. So as you come in, cockpit's right there. And if you were to come through on the docker, like if you're docked to a space station, it would come down here. You got the bathroom. Oh, and it's only got 1 bed, but like I said, I don't have any crew members on board. I don't even like traveling with crew anymore. So this bed does me just fine. And up here is the crew station, and then the second crew station up here at level 3. Oops, you know what? I forgot to take this thing apart. Just exit the ship, it'll be quicker. So we'll go to the ship builder.
Sure, have at it.
So this is the Krait. Let's see if I still have my Wombat. Yeah, so it's basically this ship right here, but it's got the Krait body that this body here was from a different ship. So I've basically got the rear end of the ship with the body, you know, mixed and matched. So I don't know, it gives it a kind of sleek look. Somebody was complaining that the guns were mounted directly behind the other guns, and they don't understand that they're there, so if these guns ever show cowardice, these guns will shoot them dead and then continue to fire. So it's just redundancy. It's too bad there's not a hard point on the side here, but I guess that would be a little overpowered. Anyways, 2,190 cargo, 1,450 shields using this Vanguard Bulwark Shield generator that I hate because I can't paint it any other different colors. Max crew of 10, 28 light year jump range, mobility is 100, and 150 top speed. The mass is 1,256, and I think I can add 1 more ton, or 1 more kilogram. Still have 100 mobility, but if I were to add 2, then my mobility would drop down to 99. So 1,263 is the top end, so I came out 1 kilogram short of the max. As I always say in my previous builds, if you can get away with it, this is a Class B ship, but this is a Class A reactor. This is a good way to save weight. Like I said, 28 light years there's nothing in the game that requires more than 28 light years. So if you can get to 28 using a Class A, they're going to be a lot lighter, and they'll save you a significant amount of weight. I don't know what just kind of curious. We'll add, go to grav drives. So if we go down to Class B, let's see what it would take to get up to 28. So this RD 1000 would do it. That's 59 tons. That's way too heavy. That's 47. What did I have on here before? Cancel. 42. So I saved 5 tons, or 5 kilograms. Hell, I don't know what the hell the mass is on this. I'm just going to say save 5 mass by using this Helios 400 grav drive. So always nice to save a little bit of weight because it comes off, like you can just add more cargo, at the end if you have some extra. And stuff like this, I put the tail on. I didn't have to put that on there. But I don't know, it looks pretty nice without it. But it's always nice to have a tail. And of course we have an arrow, and I didn't even change anything. The back end of the ship just fell off. There we go. Now it's nominal. This game is so glitchy. So anyways, we gotta take this thing apart, and we'll put it together and go from there. Alright, we're back down here in the shipbuilder. Starting off, this is, like I said before, it's the first time I've used this landing bay. It's an NG6 from Nova Galactic. Directly behind it, we're going to use a Nova Galactic living quarters 2x1. Directly behind that, we're going to use a 104DS mag inertial. This is the best Class B reactor you can get. It gives you 39 power, which is only 1 less than the most powerful C-class reactor. Then for the landing gears, we're going to use 4 of these Hope 6 landing gears. And I've got 2 of them in the mid configuration and 2 of them in the 2 of them in the 4 configuration. I don't remember if they go like that. I think they're like that. And that goes there, that goes there. That's basically deck 1. Deck 2. Let's start up here. We'll use this cockpit. This is the Magellan C1X from Nova Galactic. It's the 7-ton one, not the 6-ton. The Nova Galactic control station directly on top of that, or behind it. For fuel, we're going to use a single 500T HE3 tank. And then behind that, we're going to use this Helios 400 grav drive. And then on the top, for just aesthetics, we're going to use this Nova cowling 2L. And then another Nova Galactic control station 2x1. Go just like that. And then this Galleon S204 cargo hold. And that caps off deck 3. And then, let's see. You know what? This was like this. I'm sorry. These need to be up one more. So the gears should be, you need to have this little spot back here because that's where the engines go. And these engines are Class A engines. They're the Ares DT60s. Want to go there. Want to go there, just like that. And on the other side, you're going to do the same thing. And then, because these are 2 powered engines, you can have 6 total. So we can stick a Stroud engine bracer A. And we can mount these 2 outboard motors on either side. They're going to connect the other side of that fuel tank we put in. Alright. And on the top, we're going to use a Demo Spine D in a 4 configuration and a Demo Spine A to kind of taper off the wing or the tail. And then for our Docker, we're going to use this 100 DP Slim Docker. And it's going to be upside down using the flip key. Let's put the 2 of these 200 cm ballast cargo holds. One will go right there. One goes right there. Our Vanguard Bulwark shield generator will go directly on top of this Nova Galactic control station. Back here on the back mounting point of this hab, we're going to select our weapons horizon mount. And I'm going to go with the weapons here in a minute. Our second one will go right there. And so basically every 4 points, or all 4 points of this hab is going to have a weapon, or a horizon weapons mount attached. And they'll be able to mount 8 guns total. And then right here, we're going to put another horizon weapons mount. And I noticed when I was doing this, I could have made these smaller and then put a gun down here. But I don't know, I just didn't like the way this just ends like that. It's like flat. But I mean, if you had to, you can do that. I like the way that this thrusters look with the lights and the way they stick out like that. But I found you can't put the gun there. It doesn't fit. Oops. Can't get it in there. I guess it's too big. Not even the Class A guns will fit there. But these equipment, the comm spike will get in there just nicely. And on the other side, it's the same thing with the gun. You can't have a gun down here, but you can put this conduction grid because it's smaller than a weapon. And then at the bottom, under the ship, you got these 2 hard points under the lander or the landing bay. We're just going to slot them in right there. And as far as weapons, we're going to be using 4 of these PVO 175 auto helion beams. And then the other slots are going to be 4 of these PVO 100 auto neutron beams. And then 1, 2, 3, 4 of the PB 175 helion beams. I just thought of a way I could use that last ton. Not that it matters, but I could get the 2-ton Docker at Neon and flip it upside down and stick it down there. I don't know, maybe I'll do that just to, I don't know, it's an OCD thing, I guess. But this is the ship. It's 44 meters long by 32 meters wide. I call it the Wraith. As I said, it's just kind of a hodgepodge between my Wraith, or excuse me, between my Krait and my Wombat cargo hauler. Alright, let's get into orbit. Take it for a spin. It's so quiet without any crew members, I love it. Alright, looking at the stats, with the payload cargo buff, I get 3,449 cargo, 2,320 shields is the regular. I don't have any buffs. I don't have Omari or anybody on board that would change that. As far as my guns, they're all particle guns. Reactor 44 because I have the extra 5 points for the skills. And no shielded capacity because I don't do that. I don't think it's worth your time trying to smuggle. let's rebalance some weapons here. We'll fly over to Serpentis, take over some combat trials. Oh, before I do this, let me show you something. I kind of compromised on the fuel just a little bit. Normally I fly down to Eridani, and then I'll see if I can fly, make sure I can reach all the planets. I haven't discovered all these. I've been lazy. I need to go back and rediscover these after my last NG plus 10. But this planet right here, this one, and this one are the only three that you can't make in a single jump if you're all the way over here at Eridani. But like I said, what's the chances of you being at Eridani and saying, "Oh, I got to jump to Bohr"? So like it's 99% of the planets are going to be in range from a single jump, and even if it's not, you can just make a second jump. It's not like they're unreachable. But that's the name of the game, compromise. Something always bugged me about this cockpit is the controller is on the left, and people that use their left hand are all witches and warlocks and stuff, so that's not cool. We need to petition the manufacturers to put the controller on the right side. That's one of the cool things about having Class B weapons is they're pretty good compared to the Class A. I mean, the Class A weapons are pretty good too, especially if you have those Vanguard obliterators. I would have used those on this instead of the 175 PVO 175 non-autos, but I didn't have enough hard points. And there were some ways I could do it. I could have used some of these Nova cowlings. What the fuck is happening here? There's some usually when a screen flashes like that, that means there's a Starborn nearby. I could have gotten around the hardpoint limitation by using some Nova cowling or Nova wings, weapons wings. But I don't know. I just didn't like the way it looked. Let's go down here to a hostile activity area. I think we're getting close to DLC coming out, maybe? Shatter's Face, I hope. So, they definitely need to add something, because I think I've done everything in the game so far. Except for, like, going around scanning every planet. I don't know, I just want to shoot things. I've been building a lot of Class A ships lately just because I like the challenge. Flying around in B class and C class ships is just, even though I'm on NG plus 10 with very hard, there's no challenge to it whatsoever. But at least with the Class A's, you gotta like use your boost and scoot around and actually kind of have that fear of you're about to get shot down sometimes. Eulogy 3. You ever noticed in the it says these guns have like 5,000 range, but that's just BS. I've never been able to shoot anything from that far. So this one's behind me, so I'm going to thrust or boost, and we'll swing around. Was that a hotspot, or was that just something else? Yeah. Try one more. These engines I'm using, there's a B class variant that's basically two of these engines stuck together, to make one engine. I think it's the DT 160s or 260s. I don't remember, but I think I might play around with extending the size of the ship and see if I can get those engines on here. It's the first time I've used these. Well, not my first time, but those in this design, I guess. It's the first time I've used these engines. I used them on that Wombat build too, which came out a lot better than I thought it would. I was very happy with the way that ship looked.
You are nothing more than an offering. System stable. We continue the fight.
Anyways, that's that. I get pointed into the sun to get a nice glamour shot. Go to photo mode. There we go. So that's the ship. It's got a pretty sleek profile other than these two giant outboard motors sticking out the sides. I thought about taking them off, but I don't know. I kind of like the way they look. And, the ship doesn't have a super huge amount of cargo because they're A-class engines. I think it's like what I said, 2200 or 2300. I wanted to keep that up as high as I could. But like I said, the only thing that was really bugging me is, because people are complaining that these guns are in linear, they're like one behind the other. Like the game doesn't care where the guns are, but I don't know. People are, they'll say anything. So originally I was going to try to put a Nova bracer, or excuse me, a Nova weapon wing right here, and then these guns would be sticking out so where they could shoot, you know, over or around these guns. But I don't know. I don't know if I care about it that much. Anyways, it's like I said, it's a simple ship. 20 meters seems to be, or 40, I guess, from the 20 from the midpoint, but 40 total for the length. 40 meters seems to be the sweet spot for me, which is half the maximum length that is allowed by the game. I still am waiting on all the guys that commented on my super small or smallest ship possible build that told me that they've seen ships smaller or they could build ships smaller. Still waiting on that proof, and looking forward to hearing from you guys. And I'm being sarcastic, by the way, because I know it doesn't exist. But anyways, I guys hope you like this, and I'll chat with you later.